minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank each of you for your work, and to the at-large IG community. Thank you so much for the work that you do. I can tell you that from my side of the aisle, I am going to be vigilant in making sure that your work continues on regardless of who is at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. We have your back. We believe in your independence, and anything that is out there to the contrary will be fought vigorously in a bipartisan way. And I know that my good friend from Virginia and I both agree on this particular aspect. That being said, I want to make sure that it is clear that to my knowledge, we have had no request to replace any IG, that there is a 30-day notice that has to be given to Congress, and there are 0 IGs that have been noticed to Congress. Do you understand that, Mr. Horowitz?
I do, and I also appreciated the call I got from Mr. McGahn on Friday making that point to me personally.
I'm at the very highest levels of this administration. I have had a very comforting assurance that the work that the IGs do and have done is not to say that the work that you've done, whether it's your reports, I'm one of those guys that'll stay up late and read your reports and read the footnotes, and Mr. Roth and I have talked a couple of times on some of the reports that he and his team have done. And so let's not discount the work that we've done in the past, assuming that the recommendations have been there. But just because it's a new administration, I think it's important that we still follow up on those things. And so here would be my request of each one of you. As we look at the IG Empowerment Act, what I would like is, what are the 2 things that are creating barriers for its full implementation, and I know we're very early in the process, but what are the 2 barriers that you're seeing either technically or legislatively or administratively in terms of actually implementing that? And then as we start to get that, anything that has a good intention also has components that perhaps are a byproduct that were not intended. 2 areas that perhaps would be in a follow-up bill that could maybe either clarify or make life a little easier. Are all of you willing to get with the committee on that? All right. So if I were to classify the anxiety level for some in the IG community, would you classify it as on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being most anxious? Would you say that it's greater than 5, Mr. Horowitz?
I think it's fair to say now, having been the chair of the council for a couple of years, I think we're always anxious as a group. It's a group that has 73 very different opinions on everything, and I think you'd get 73 people coming up with different numbers.
All right. What can members of Congress do in a bipartisan way to assure the IG community that not only we value their work, but that we certainly do not want anything to stand in the way of you doing your work?
I think the key part is a hearing like today for us, coming here and hearing bipartisan support for our work, the efforts to reach out to the incoming administration, including individual agency heads, to make sure they understand, so not just this committee, but the other authorizing and oversight committees doing the same with each agency, making them clear. I think you have my assurance, and I think all of our assurances by coming here, that we stand united in fighting for the underlying principle of independence in this act. And we didn't spend years, certainly Kathy and I, fighting our agencies on access issues, the FBI and DEA, testifying probably 15+ times, taking on those agencies because they weren't giving us access, to sort of hide and and not come forward if there's efforts to push back. So
All right.
we'll continue to let you know if we can't do our work.
So real quickly, a yes or no answer. Do I have your commitment to keep politics out of any analysis that you or your group does? And I'm going to go down them.
Absolutely.
Ms. Bueller.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you. I'll yield back.
Thank you.